The slow in and slow out principle, or ease in, ease out, is so important but also really easy to understand and put in practice. The concept is, an object doesn't have a constant speed during a movement, it will have an acceleration at the beginning and a deceleration at the end. So we'll start slower, slow in, increase the speed in between, and end slower before to stop. To add the slow in and slow out to our movement, we need to change the spacing of the in-betweens at the start and the end. If we have an object that moves from A to B and the tangent is linear, so we don't have any variation in the speed, we would have a stiff and mechanical movement. If we have the same movement but we change the position of the in-betweens near the first key pose and the last one, the movement results more soft, smooth and realistic. Try to recreate a movement yourself. Move your arm from A to B. You should perceive that your arm needs a bit of time to reach the speed, and then when you stop it, it slows down. Always remember that we are doing cartoons, so to have a more appealing animation, we can even exaggerate this principle. This doesn't mean that you have to increase the timing of your animation to have more in-betweens at the start and the end. It's always based on the speed of your action. In a faster action, you will have few frames, but you will still can manage them in order to have a slow in and slow out effect. Using the graph editor is very easy to achieve the result we need. Using a flat tangents, we already have a smoothness on the extremes. If we use the spline tangents, we can reach the same result using the handles. We can also add an in-between near the first pose and another one near the final pose, and move them on a value closer to the extremes, until you don't reach your desired effect. But keep attention when you adjust the handles to don't create this type of curve where it goes on a higher or lower value compared to the last pose value, otherwise you will have a backward or forward movement. So in this case, for example, the ball is moving forward, but in the part between the in-between key and your extreme key, the curve overtakes this value. So the ball would go forward and then backward to the extreme position. So this don't mean that this is wrong, but if you just want to use a slow out, so you just want to smooth the movement forward, keep attention to don't overtake this line. A pendulum clock is a perfect example of slow in and slow out. Look how smooth is the movement on the two extremes, slow, fast, slow. With the same key poses and timing, but with different spacing, we would have a linear movement that is really unrealistic. As you can see in the graph editor, I created a loop animation, so I have the two poses at the beginning and the end with the same position, and another extreme in the middle with the pendulum in the opposite direction. In this case, the tangent is linear. That's why we have this effect. The interpolation has a uniform velocity, so all the in-betweens have the same distance between each other. So just switching the same curve in flat, the spacing of the in-betweens change and the movement is more realistic. If we create the same movement with a character, the principle doesn't change. We will always have a movement that starts slow, takes speed and slow down again. So use this principle with all its variation for your object and character movements. It's really easy and quick to achieve, and your animation will change a lot.